Nobody truly sees you for who you are. Not completely. What they see is what you allow them to perceive. And that, my friend, is where the game begins.
People judge you based on appearances long before they understand your intentions. They form opinions within seconds, often irrationally, and these judgments shape how they treat you. If you wish to wield influence, command, respect, or bend others to your will, you must master the art of controlling their perception of you. Not through honesty that's for the naive, but through calculated deception mixed with ambiguity. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Appearances matter more than substance. It doesn't matter if you're brilliant, hardworking, or virtuous if no one perceives it. The world rewards those who can craft an image so compelling that it overshadows reality itself. But here's the catch. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about revealing only what serves your purpose. Now, let's talk about why this works. Human beings are creatures of assumption. Their minds crave clarity but thrive on mystery. When you present yourself as both predictable and enigmatic, you create a paradox in their perception, a tension that keeps them intrigued. This is the essence of Machiavellian strategy. To control without seeming to control, to deceive without being caught, and to wield power subtly yet decisively. But here's the paradox. Most people fail at this because they either overexpose themselves or remain entirely invisible. Both extremes weaken your authority. To succeed, you must walk the razor's edge between transparency and secrecy. Show just enough to earn trust, but withhold enough to maintain intrigue. Do you know what happens when you don't control your image? Others define you. They project their biases, fears, and desires onto you. And once they've labeled you, whether as weak, untrustworthy, or insignificant, you'll spend years trying to undo it. Worse still, you may never break free from their perception. So ask yourself, are you willing to leave your fate in the hands of strangers? Or will you take charge of how you're seen? They say perception is reality, but they forget who crafts perception. Not the crowd, not the mirror, the master of appearance. And if you're not the sculptor of your image, you are merely the clay others shape at will. Now, let me speak to you, not as a friend, but as an ally in truth. The world sees what you let it see. And the first error of the powerless is believing they must be honest to be respected. No. Respect, influence, dominance, these are not born in truth. They are born in precision, in artifice, and mastery of appearances so refined that even truth itself becomes unsure of its footing. People judge you in 2 seconds. That's not opinion. That's biology. And in those seconds, they don't see your heart. They don't see your intent. They see your posture, your clothes, your face, your silence. And from that silence, they create a narrative. So what if you could control that narrative? Not with loudness, not with pleading, but with calculated illusion, with strategic ambiguity, with appearances designed to plant fear, awe, or desire before a word is spoken. This is what the powerful have always known. Caesar wore robes not for fashion, but for effect. Cleopatra painted her eyes not for beauty, but to enchant. And Machiavelli himself understood that to be loved is a fortune, but to be feared through presence is a power you command. Begin with this principle. You are not what you are what they believe you are. Your reality is irrelevant in public spaces. If they see a king, they treat you like one. If they see a pawn, you become one. Appearances do not reflect your soul. They determine your place in the hierarchy. So let us explore the architecture of deception, of controlling perception through the art of being seen not as you are, but as you must be to dominate. Master the first look. The first time someone lays eyes on you, a judgment is made. Instantly, unconsciously. And here is the trick. You can control what they decide, not by force, but by design. Stand still. Do not fidget. Speak last. Dress one level above everyone else. Appear unbothered. Why? Because it is in stillness that people see power, and in silence they hear authority. A man who does not rush to speak is either a fool or a king, and until they know which, they treat him like a king. You must treat every entrance like a performance, because it is. Every room is a stage, and most enter like amateurs, unaware that every step, every blink, every second of hesitation is being recorded by those around them. You must learn to walk like your name already echoes in their heads. Own space before you speak into it. When you walk into a room, let your presence speak before your words. The mind fills in blanks with fear or admiration when it lacks certainty. So be ambiguous. Ambiguity is your ally. The more they wonder who you are, the more they project power onto you. Never let your energy match the room. Make the room match your energy. Appearance is armor. Do you think kings wear crowns just for style? Uniforms, jewelry, posture, grooming, these are not superficial. These are psychological weapons. You must dress with precision, not to express yourself, but to influence others. Your clothing should whisper one thing: I am not like you. Because the moment they believe you are different, they believe you are above. People project value upwards. If they see you as rare, they treat you as royalty. Even silence is part of your appearance. Be silent often, but when you speak, speak as if every word is precious, measured, icy, controlled. Let them hang on your silence, not your speech. Remember, your appearance is your first act of storytelling. You are not merely seen, you are read. Everything about you should be curated with surgical precision, from your scent to your shoes. People notice what you don't think they notice. Here's how you apply this principle today. Dress, speak, and act in ways that align with the role you wish to play. Want to be seen as confident? Stand tall, make deliberate eye contact, and move with purpose. Want to appear intelligent? Speak slowly, choose your words carefully, and pause strategically. These small adjustments don't change who you are, but they drastically alter how others perceive you. But beware of excess. Overconfidence repels as much as underconfidence attracts pity. True mastery lies in striking balance. For instance, show vulnerability sparingly, it humanizes you, but never reveal your deepest insecurities. Let people think they know you, but ensure they only see what you want them to see. And remember this, power is not static. It ebbs and flows depending on context. In some situations, appearing humble wins favor. In others, dominance commands respect. Adapt accordingly. Flexibility in presentation is key to maintaining control. Maintaining ambiguity of reality. Ambiguity is your greatest weapon. It creates uncertainty, which breeds curiosity and dependence. When people cannot fully understand you, they become obsessed with deciphering your motives. Meanwhile, you retain all the power. Those who are too clear, too open, are too easy to categorize and easy to dismiss. One way to cultivate ambiguity is through selective communication. Never explain yourself excessively. Explanations invite scrutiny and doubt. Instead, offer concise answers that raise more questions than they resolve. For example, if asked about your plans, respond vaguely, I prefer to focus on possibilities rather than predictions. Such statements sound profound while revealing nothing concrete. Another method is to embrace contradictions deliberately. Act friendly toward some and distant toward others. Display kindness in public but assert dominance in private. These conflicting behaviors confuse observers, preventing them from pigeonholing you into a single category. Remember though, ambiguity must be paired with consistency in core areas. While certain aspects of your persona remain fluid, foundational traits like reliability or decisiveness should remain constant. This combination ensures that people trust you even as they struggle to fully comprehend you. When they cannot decode you, they begin to admire you or fear you. Either one serves you well. Your power exists in the question mark, not the exclamation. The most dangerous people in the world are not the loudest. They are the quiet ones who leave you unsure of their opinion, of their loyalty, of their boundaries. When people cannot predict you, they prepare for everything. That gives you control. You want to control how people perceive you? Then become a master of suggestion, not explanation. Manipulation through calculated deception. Deception does not mean dishonesty. It means strategy. The fox survives because it knows when to hide. The lion reigns because it knows when to show its teeth. Machiavelli taught us this: to appear good, even if you are not. To appear harmless, even if you are deadly. to appear calm, even when chaos is your tool. You must never lie, but you must never reveal the full truth either. Keep your cards close. Let your enemies underestimate you. Let your friends admire a version of you that suits your purpose. That is not evil. That is survival. Deception is the craft of the wise. The fool reveals their every move. The wise mask their steps in shadows. Understand this. When people believe they understand you, they stop fearing you. Make sure no one ever fully understands you. Deception, when done skillfully, is indistinguishable from truth. The best manipulators don't lie outright, they twist reality slightly, planting seeds of doubt or certainty in others' minds. This is how wars are won, reputations are built, and fortunes are amassed. Consider this. A ruler wants his subjects to fear him but also admire him. He achieves this by alternating acts of mercy with displays of ruthlessness. One day he pardons a criminal to show compassion, the next he punishes another severely to demonstrate authority. His actions seem contradictory, yet they reinforce his unpredictable nature, an essential trait for maintaining control. You can adopt similar tactics in everyday life. For instance, if you want colleagues to respect your competence, occasionally admit to minor mistakes. This makes you appear humble and relatable. Then, surprise them with exceptional performance when it matters most. By balancing imperfection with excellence, you keep them guessing and respecting your abilities. But here's the critical lesson. Deception must align with your goals. Random lies erode trust. Strategic ones build influence. Always ask yourself, what do I want people to believe? Why? And how can I guide them there without exposing my hand? Seduction through controlled mystery. Seduction is not merely physical, it's psychological. The most captivating individuals are those who seem familiar, yet unreachable, comforting, yet mysterious. They draw people in by offering glimpses of intimacy while keeping their true selves hidden. To seduce effectively, you must first understand the psychology of desire. Desire thrives on scarcity. When something feels abundant, its value diminishes. When something feels rare, its allure grows. Apply this principle to yourself. Be present but elusive. Engage deeply but retreat unexpectedly. Leave questions unanswered, promises unfulfilled, and emotions ambiguous. For example, imagine meeting someone who shares everything about themselves immediately, their past, their dreams, their flaws. At first, it might feel refreshing, but soon it becomes predictable. Now imagine someone who reveals fragments of their story gradually, always leaving room for interpretation. Who would captivate you more? The answer is obvious. However, seduction requires restraint. Too much mystery frustrates, too little bores. Your goal is to keep people guessing just enough to stay invested. Smile warmly, but let your eyes hold secrets. Speak openly, but leave certain details unsaid. Walk away occasionally, forcing others to chase after you. Each action should serve the greater purpose of keeping you at the center of attention. Give people choices that are not really choices. Appear generous while guiding their options. Seduce through power, not gifts. Make your presence a privilege. Let them feel lucky to be chosen by you. Create situations where people believe they decided to follow you, when in reality, you guided their every step. Seduction is not about attraction. It is about control. About creating a version of yourself they cannot live without, even if it never truly existed. Power in scarcity. What is everywhere is ignored. What is rare is worshipped. So do not be available. Be scarce. Be selective. Be seen only when you choose to be seen. The person who responds to every message is not respected. The one who makes people wait with dignity, with silence, is remembered. You want to be perceived as powerful? Then your time must feel expensive. Your attention must feel earned. Your presence must feel like an event. Be the ghost that haunts their memory, not the echo that fades with every sound. When you give too much, people forget the cost. When you give rarely, they remember the value. Mystery over explanation. Never explain yourself unless it brings you power. The one who explains too much appears insecure. The one who holds back appears confident. You do not owe anyone your reasoning. Let your actions speak. Let your silences echo. The less they know, the more they imagine. And imagination is where power grows. When you become a mystery, people gather around you like moths around flame. They crave to know you, and craving gives you power. Be brief. Be vague. Let your words open doors, but never show what's behind them. A leader who is mysterious is respected. A leader who is transparent is consumed. Design your identity. Who do they think you are? That is the question. And the answer must never be accidental. You must engineer your identity the way a master forges a sword. Heat, pressure, polish. Choose a signature color, a signature phrase, a rhythm to your voice, a walk that feels deliberate. Make everything about you intentional. Because those who move with intention move the world. Consistency builds legacy. Randomness breeds forgettability. Let there be a through line in everything about you, a recognizable scent, a predictable unpredictability. You do not have to be liked. You have to be remembered. Speak less. Mean more. The more you speak, the less they listen. The less you speak, the more they remember. Never speak to fill silence. Speak to fill minds. Speak with weight, with slowness, with finality. And when you say little, your words become law. The perception you craft with words must always be smaller than the one you craft with presence. Every unnecessary word is a withdrawal from your bank of power. Every pause is a deposit. Let them feel the silence before your next sentence drops like a hammer. Exploiting weaknesses. To control perceptions, you must also understand human weaknesses. Fear, greed, envy, and insecurity drive most actions. By exploiting these vulnerabilities, you can shape how others view you and, consequently, how they behave around you. Take fear, for example. People respect those who inspire awe, but they obey those who evoke fear. If you want compliance, project an aura of unpredictability. Let others wonder whether you'll reward loyalty or punish betrayal. This uncertainty keeps them cautious and compliant. Similarly, leverage envy to elevate your status. Surround yourself with symbols of success, luxury items, prestigious connections, or exclusive experiences, but never flaunt them directly. Subtlety amplifies impact. For instance, casually mention attending an elite event rather than boasting about it. Envious minds will inflate your importance far beyond reality. Exploit insecurity by positioning yourself as indispensable. Offer solutions to problems only you claim to understand. Frame your advice as unique insights unavailable elsewhere. Over time, people will come to rely on you, granting you immense influence. The final illusion, becoming the mirror. The greatest trick of power is to reflect others until they love you for who they see themselves to be in your presence. Become a mirror. Reflect their insecurities. Reflect their dreams. But never reveal your own. Let them believe they know you. Let them feel safe. Then influence them without force. Because the one who can shape how others feel about themselves controls not just their perception of you, but of their entire reality. To control perception, you do not need to change who you are. You need to control what they see. And sometimes, what they think they see is far more powerful than truth. In the end, you do not control how people see the world, but you can control how they see you in the world. Through appearance, you create authority. Through deception, you shield your strategy. Through ambiguity, you become unforgettable. This is not trickery. This is mastery. And mastery is not for the timid. So, ask yourself, will you continue to be seen as you are? Or will you rise as the image they can't stop watching, questioning, respecting? Because power does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who design it. And appearance is the throne upon which it sits. Welcome to the art of perception. Play it like Machiavelli, or be played by it like everyone else.